Karli. Oh. Huh?
Who's this Alfred-looking guy?
Zemo's pilot, is it?
Of course it is.
Sorry, should I laugh? That's...
And Zemo always enacted his plan to get rid of
I can't
every
believe
single
it.
super soldier, except he did leave
I can't... Zemo.
Bucky.
Couldn't have worked better if I'd planned it myself.
I can't believe that.
Oh, well, maybe I did. No, I'm kidding, I didn't. Or did I?
This woman!
US agent.
It's the same. But black. Will do, Val.
Don't call me that.
Copy.
Keep it in your head.
Thank you.
Back. Look at him. Hey. Oh, man.
Boy, we thought this irredeemable man, and look at him now. So it shows anybody.
He did something good. He did some good things.
It's Bucky's
John.
turn.
I have to
Come
tell
on,
you
Bucky.
something about your son. He was murdered by a Winter Soldier. And that was me.
Wow. Bucky, he is making amends everywhere, isn't he? Look at him.
He did it.
You did that, Bucky.
Yes, Bucky. Heal, man. Continue. You can do it.
Checking on him. Just...
Sad guys. What a powerful speech, Sam.
Is he back at Isaiah's house? Yes.
Come on, Black Falcon.
You need to learn some manners.
He ain't a Falcon anymore, but he's still black. So you must have done something right.
Wow.
I ain't gonna lie, you're special.
Wow.
Thank you.
You ain't no Malcolm, Martin, Mandela, but so Black Captain America, huh?
Damn right.
Don't never let a black
Ain't gonna
man be
be
Captain
easy,
America.
Sam.
Okay. I love to see it.
Might die.
Ooh.
We built this country. Bled for it. I'm not gonna let anybody tell me I can't fight for it. Not after what everybody before me went through. Including you.
Shit, I almost bought that.
Why don't you clean up? There's something I want to show.
Where we going?
Oh my god. Okay. I need to calm down. He put him up. He's included in the legacy. Him and his brothers, his men.
No, don't do this. Don't do this to us, please. It's too much. Too much.
Did you see the way he grabbed his grandson?
Too much.
They'll never forget what you did for this country. Never.
Yes. That is how it should have ended.
Oh no, alright, we get a feel good ending, no worries.
Everyone wants to be with Captain America. Thank you, Marvel. We get to see happy Bucky.
Yeah.
Happy Sam. Look at him just trying to impress Sarah.
Look at the black community having a little Captain America and dancing and being happy. Captain America.
Yes!
Well done, Marvel, well done.
Shit, man. These guys got me all of my feelings and shit.
Wow, man. Flipping neck, man. I wasn't ready. We're all up in our feelings right now. That was an emotional episode. Sam is
Captain America
our
and the
Captain
Winter Soldier.
America. That's it. He's taking up the mantle. It's, from my perspective, and I'm always going to be honest. And, as much as we want to be objective, it's hard to be objective. Can we really be objective? Can we? I don't know. But as a black man myself, you know, hearing some of the things that Sam was saying, it's so powerful because I'm glad people got to hear that because that is so many people's experience. And he was so eloquent with everything he said. It was amazing. And that last scene just stole the show because you can see Anthony Mackie was in it. Even when I was looking at his face, you can tell he wasn't acting. You can tell that Anthony Mackie, the person, meant what he was saying.
We know.
And we know Anthony.
Yep.
We know what Anthony's like. So we know that he must have loved this scene. But yeah, guys, already. But have you got anything to say quickly? What an emotional roller coaster.
That's my Captain America.
Yeah, he's...
post credit. Shit.
Post credit.
You and your family are our sincerest apologies. And we'd like to offer you a full pardon. There may be an opening in your old division.
She turned against her own government.
We're about to have full access. You name it.
You name it!
Everyone.
Sharon, Power, Brizzle.
They just turned her into like evil.
Yeah. They ran out of villains. They said, what heroes can we turn into villains?
It's true. Now she can't use the iPhone anymore. Well, that's why she didn't have an iPhone.
That's why she never had
using
an
the next
iPhone.
phone.
Wow. What an episode.
Yeah.
I love that episode. What did you think about that episode?
It was beautiful, poignant, action-packed, emotion-packed, concluded things that we wanted. It was epic. Mm-hmm. Best episode of the series.
Yeah, I concur. And do you know what? When the episode started, because we jumped straight into the action, and I wasn't really prepared for that. I thought we were going to get a bit more build-up into it, and it seemed like we jumped straight into it. So I'm not going to lie. Straight away, I thought, I'm not sure if I'm actually happy about that. You know, I didn't like that idea. I'm going to be honest. But it worked. It worked because it condensed the episode. And the episode was very condensed, but it was amazing. From start to finish, it was action-packed. It wrapped things up, but at the same time, it created new avenues for further stories.
Every scene, it was purposeful and meaningful. It wasn't like, some shows just throw something in there.
Yeah.
It was like, you needed that scene and you could have had more of that scene.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
For sure. So, like I said, we literally straight into the action. Sharon is with Bucky. They're trying to figure out what's going on with these Flagsmashers. And we get to see the new Cap outfit for the first time. How are you guys feeling about the outfit? Personally, I really, really like it. I think Sam looks good in it.
Yeah.
It makes a great appearance, smashing through the window with his wings. I think he just looked amazing. What do you think?
I loved the outfit. I was totally surprised by it because I didn't do any research.
Yeah.
Different to how I thought it would be.
A lot more white than,
Yeah.
But it looked good, man. It looked sick. The wings look sick.
They look like real bird wings, like beautiful.
Yeah. And the blue light now that he's got, because I think he had a red light, didn't he, before? And we get a new red wing. Red wing is back, guys.
Is it like there was two of them at one point? Has he got two red wings?
I don't know. I think he's got red wing, but he's also got other tools and other little devices that can help him. But yeah, just seeing Falcon. Well, I can't even call him Falcon now. Captain America making his appearance, smashing through the window. It was just, that's my Cap. And Batroc finally gets that fight scene with Sam.
Yeah.
And Sam was holding his own.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fight scene was really intricate. I liked all the different kind of flips and turns and twists and the way the shield was used and interacted with. That was interesting.
Yeah, I thought he could have used the shield a bit more, but I think he's getting used to the shield, isn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of realistic. Like he's not going to be like Steve with the shield yet, but in time he will find his way of how he uses it. And
I love the way he wears it on his back.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's how Steve wears it anyway. Yeah. But when he's flying, it just looks so cool, man. Let's be honest. It looks cool. It looks cool. Come on. So yeah, that fight scene was cool. And you know what? That overall flying sequence was just amazing at that
Yes.
time with the helicopter. That sequence was just so entertaining, you know?
Yeah. It was mad how it ended up with him dashing the shield through the window,
Yep.
getting the pilot out, and then swapping over.
Like, yeah, it was just so incredible to see him in the air. And do you know what it was? I think it was more visually. It was visually satisfying because
Yeah.
it was just the blue. I know these guys like to slap their blue filter on everything, but that neon blue in that sky and the
Yeah.
way he was just gliding with his wings, and it just looked good. He looked cool. Let's be honest, it looked good, man. Yeah, it was a good sequence. I loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed it, guys. And I love the shot, that showed the strength of the wings. You know the shot where he landed on the bridge and he used the shield and the wings to build some sort of cocoon. So when a helicopter hit him, it just bounced off him to show the strength of the vibranium. I think that shot was just
That was awesome.
awesome, man. And all along, man, Karli is just going deeper and deeper, getting worse and worse. And I think you alluded to it. Her followers aren't really on it. They're not on it. Not fully.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely
they're
not.
hesitant.
But in that moment, when she was organising, she was like, one world, and they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is one world.
And
What
she
do you
just gets worse, guys. I mean, she's setting the trucks on fire now after kidnapping the senators or the government, setting them on fire. She's gone. Well, we get so many fight scenes, man. We get another fight scene in the street with the trucks. John Walker finally gets his hands on Karli. So we get to see those two go blow for blow. I thought John, with his military background and his fighting skills, I thought he would be able to take her. She knocked him out and she escaped. You know what? One thing that I was thinking throughout the whole episode was that Sam, you know, he's still human. These guys are all super soldiers. So he's the one, he's putting, you know, his life more at risk, I guess, if you can look at it that way. It shows what kind of man he is. We get a redeeming moment for John.
Yeah.
He actually tried to do the right thing. And, it shows that he's not evil. Everything he did, he actually thought it was right because he's done it before. But we get him, trying to save the day anyway. And that was enough for me to think, okay, he's at least trying to do the right thing. Of course, you can't condone what he did.
It won't erase his previous actions.
Never.
What it does do is show that he was willing to give up his kind of selfish need to avenge Lamar. Let me save the people.
Yeah.
Which I think I was saying at the time during the show, that's what Lamar would have wanted you to do. Mm-hmm. I think that was my vibe from Lamar anyway.
Yeah. So you're saying that he's showing growth as well a little bit? His role in this episode was very, very interesting.
Yeah. I did find, you know what, when he was making jokes, he made he did some quote from Lincoln, and I'm thinking, oh gosh.
Got a bit too comfortable, like.
Yeah, it's like.
I forgot what you did, mate.
Yeah, man, it's just the last episode, which is like probably about half an hour ago in the actual timeline. It just felt too soon.
Funny enough, while John Walker and Karli were fighting each other, Bucky was the one who was trying to save the people.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't getting drawn in with fighting these guys. He wanted to save the people first and foremost, and that shows how Bucky is different to those two. Totally different to those two.
Completely different.
But we get our Cap. He saved the senators. I was thinking to myself, how is he doing that? Because he doesn't have super strength, but it's the jetpack and the boost.
Yeah, it must be.
That's giving him the extra sort of force, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah, that was so good to see. So good. And his wings just look so amazing. Flipping it.
Yeah.
His wings just look so cool, man.
Yeah, I agree. And I would be really curious to hear from people who don't like the wings or don't like the outfit. There was loads of people watching as he was doing that. People were filming with their phones and yeah. So similar to
the way he landed in the middle as well with his wings, and everyone just went quiet right there and then. I think they said it. That's Captain America.
Yeah.
That's Black Falcon.
Yeah, no, that's Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think in some of the action, at one point, I'm sure Karli dashes a pole at James's head. And I swear he catches it just how Steve did in Infinity War.
Infinity War, yeah.
When he comes out of the dark and he's like, and he catches the thing. I swear, that was a little throwback.
It might have been. And yes, guys, Sharon is the power broker.
She is the broker of the power.
She be breaking that power. What? Breaking the broken? The broke. It break. Yeah. It was her all along. And we kind of figured it out a few episodes back. But we find out in a warehouse scene.
It was Sharon
all along. That's so silly. You're ridiculous. But
she's different. She's so different because when you think back to who Sharon was originally in the first movie when we see her meeting Steve.
She's changed. It shows that governments can create villains.
Oh, shizzle. That was actually...
Shizzle.
That was a great...
Nah, but anyway, no, well, apparently, her and Karli been working together, right? And Karli's just gone off and found her own fight.
Yeah.
And started fighting her own fight.
Karli broke off from Sharon's fight
Shazza.
when she realizes Shazza's doing this for her own benefit to get money. Look at all that loot she's storing up in Madripoor. No, actually, Karli wanted to make a difference. She's gone about it in a really not the best way. Giving this girl a serum, a traumatized victim. Like, come on.
Sharon does not look good.
No.
This does not paint Sharon in a good light at all.
She's looking
She
very...
surprised me.
Very revengey, as in the show that I was mentioning in the other episode that we talked about. Revenge. This is how she was in Revenge. She was always like, I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Okay.
That kind of... She had that sort of vibe, so...
You're a joker.
I could see her, like, yeah.
And you know what? Sam still didn't want to fight Karli. Can you imagine? Is that a bit of Steve? Is that too much, guys? It's like, when's enough? Like, come on. But it's commendable. Like, even when we all thought she's gone, she's totally gone, Sam is still saying, I don't want to fight you.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight you. To the point where when Sharon kills Karli, and the look on his face was kind of, why?
Yeah.
He still felt he could save her. And that is Sam. I mean, if that guy can't be your Captain America, then...
I think something I was actually thinking about was how watching Sam be Captain America, the new Captain America, the evolution of Cap, he's even better, and I say better like loosely, than Steve. And I'm like, in terms of communication, in terms of his worldview, in terms of his understanding, in terms of empathizing. And that's what Steve would have wanted, and that's what you want as a teacher. You always want your students to surpass you one day. And I think that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
That each Cap should get better
and
more moral and more trying to bring people together.
Yeah, it's okay to say, I think it's perfectly fine to say this incarnation of Cap is the best one, because it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be better than the one before. And that's the whole point. This one is a more rounded Cap.
Yeah.
Because he's got the history now.
The whole history.
The whole history. So we know what it fully means now. So yeah, and he can communicate very well, Sam.
Yes.
Very well. And he doesn't have super serum. That scene ended beautifully with Cap descending down onto the street. And this also shows what kind of man Sam is. Even after death, he cradled her. That's your enemy. That's the person you've been fighting, And that slow-mo of him just descending with her body in his hands, still compassionate, still having empathy, is so powerful. It's so powerful.
Absolutely, because when somebody is dead, they've paid their debt. They're gone now. You should be treating their body with respect. I do think she was redeemable. In that moment when she died, she looked him in his face. She said, I'm sorry.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think she was redeemable. She was... Take out all the weaponry.
Yeah, but she
scene,
did too much. She was pushing people off cliffs, and she wanted to kill people.
Oh yeah, no, I get all of that. When I say redeemable, I mean... You can't erase what you've done. You can maybe go and be of service in some way. Okay. And her wanting to pull the trigger with Sam was not about... we see those kind of arguments between people happen in loads of different shows where one person's like, hit me, and the other person's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And the other person
that's what I saw.
Them and it calms them.
That's what I thought was going to happen. He was going to just...
Shazza
killed before she
came in and did her evil shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not happy about that at all.
Oh, man.
Out that word, but I will bleep it out. I think it was very unfair because that woman manipulated Karli into the position.
When I sit back, like I said, and think of the whole picture now that we know who Sharon was and what she was doing, I think, like I said, Sharon is very, very naughty. And I use the word naughty just in case kids are listening. Yeah.
And what I was thinking is sort of like even a broader picture is like you have Sharon begats Karli. The US government begats John. The US government also begats Isaiah, the Captain America legacy. There's somewhere up above somebody manipulating, pulling strings.
The government
GRC.
are the bad guys in this show.
And then you have the next layer of bad. There's still people still need to be held accountable for the stuff they've done. Karli, John, they've done bad stuff. Everything was multi-layered. There was no like you're just purely evil, you're just purely bad, or you're just excellent and good. Which is
good because that's
is.
how the life is. But people just like to simplify things because it makes their world easier to comprehend and to digest and to navigate. So we just put labels on things so we don't have to think. We don't have to think about how complex that person is and, his emotions. No, it's just that label means he is that thing. So
yeah, I've reduced you to this one thing.
Yeah.
And I think Sam even eloquently puts it, terrorist, refugee, thug.
Yeah.
And how it reduces things and it doesn't ask why.
People are complex.
Yeah.
We are so complex. And then, guys, we move beautifully on to, in my opinion, one of the best scenes, if not the best scene of the show, which is Sam's speech to the government, essentially. Yeah. And that speech was so beautiful. It was so eloquent. I mean, the whole speech was really about unity.
Yeah.
What Sam tried to do was to unify everybody under one common cause. And that is what Sam has been trying to do throughout the whole show, right?
Yeah.
Communicate, unify people, bring people together. That is what he's good at. And that was the overall, or at least one of the major themes of that speech, that incredible speech. Further to the point you made about labels, Sam said, labels are used to avoid asking the question, why? Like I said, it's just lazy.
Yeah, I really liked that speech. And I think there was a point where the senator says to Sam, it's really complex, you can't understand. And Sam humbles himself to be like, okay, you're right, I can't understand. And then goes on to demonstrate such a level of higher intelligence, critical thinking and depth and insight, bringing together and amalgamating multiple positions. He represented the GRC's position, he represented the people who were blipped, he represented the Flagsmashers' position, he represented the new Captain America's position.
Yes.
He brought every aspect into it. He just did it from the heart, from the soul, from the mind, because that's who Sam is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of who Anthony Mackie is too. If you look at Anthony Mackie's activism, you will see that speech that he gave, that's the speech we want to be hearing from our leaders, really.
One thing that we talk about a lot off screen is empathy. And I've always said that the lack of empathy is what's really bringing society down. The lack of, let me try to feel how you feel. Let me try to see what you see. Let me try to be in your shoes. Let me try to understand. The lack of that is the reason why people can do some of the most evil things to each other. The lack of empathy. And that is what Sam spoke about a lot. He said, listen, now you know how it feels. We have to have more empathy. We have to. His speech definitely identified empathy as something that we just need a lot more. Because he spoke about how helpless people felt. Where is the empathy?
Yeah.
It's just empathy is missing in a world where self-preservation is paramount, is first. You might lose a lot of empathy.
Empathy is the word of the day, and most humans, most of us will often sympathize, but sympathizing,
it's not the same.
It's not as helpful as empathizing. Sympathizing is like, I feel sorry for you, but you're not critically thinking or trying to understand that perspective. You're just like, oh, poor you.
Yeah.
This is like, oh my gosh, actually, I might not even think poor you, but I can understand your perspective. I don't agree with it. I don't like it even, but I can empathize. There's more that unites us as humans than divides us, really, truly, when we think about it. We create barriers as humans. We put them in there.
Yeah, I agree.
Imagine how much further we could be as a human race if we came together and we didn't add extra barriers, like add racism into the mix.
Yeah.
Take racism out of the mix. Imagine where we'd be.
I always say that. Imagine where we would be.
Because Sam got us all inspired and shit. Just like sitting up at like 2 a.m. like, shit, I need to read some books or something. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, it was beautiful.
Yeah, great speech, man. Like I said, it's, I liked that he spoke from, as you mentioned before, everyone's perspectives, including, black people, and he spoke as a black man.
Yes.
Spoke about, you know, the fact that some of you are going to hate me, and I know. And even now, some of you are looking at me and you detest me, and you probably don't even know why you do. And that was so powerful, because it's true. There are people out there like that.
That's brave to do.
It
like,
is.
for anybody to have to put themselves out there in an unsafe space to say, look, this is how unsafe I feel. Even here, I'm standing as Captain America. I still feel a bit of...
Yeah. I bet that resonates with a lot of people from multiple races. I bet that must resonate. Walking into a space or being in a space where you feel that you're just hated.
Yeah.
Even just bullying. Even not just race, but just at school, if you're facing bullies or just anything, you know, that's just not a good feeling. That is that oppressing feeling. That's what oppression feels like, right? Just
removing people's power.
And another thing that Sam said that I really liked was, who's in the room with you when you're making these decisions? Because these decisions are not affecting you, so it's easy for you to make them. And I've always said that, like, what the heck? How can a bunch of rich people who don't know anything about struggle make decisions about poor people? It's just, it's weird. It's weird.
I agree. One of the bits I really enjoyed was when Sam said that he was standing there, you know, no serum, no blonde hair, no blue eyes. And it cuts away to Isaiah and his grandson. And you see, like, Sam's helping to heal Isaiah as well. I mean, Isaiah's doing the work, but Sam's having such a beautiful impact on so many people.
Yeah.
And for him to do that, and he was incorporating Isaiah's words into his speech.
Yeah.
To say, I'm incorporating you into this legacy. Like, I'm not going to erase you. I'm not going to forget you.
Yes. He combined or amalgamated the generations, or at least tried to anyway, with that speech.
Yes.
It was almost presidential in a way.
Yeah.
When you get your seat, you try to unite everybody and bring both sides together, and that's what he tried to do. He spoke to both sides. He said, you know, why do you think people like her want to blow up buildings? You got to listen to them. Listen to their anger. Listen to their worries. And maybe their worries are fabricated and not real or in their mind, but either way, you have to just listen and try to understand why. And have a conversation. That's all Sam is saying.
Yeah.
That's all Sam is saying. And he so beautifully put it. Amazing.
Yeah. Also during the speech with a quick cutaway to Torres, who's watching Sam. And we kind of know that Torres becomes Falcon. So that was also like inspiring Torres, like seeing Sam. And I wonder if that's the inspirational thing that gets into like, I'm gonna fix those wings. I'm gonna be the Falcon, because look at Captain America.
Yeah, it's powerful, man. You don't know who or what can change the world, and maybe just changing a symbol, adding a little sparkle on a symbol could just change so much. Who knows?
And that's exactly what Sam said he wanted to do when he was having the conversation with Sarah by the boat last episode. When he was young, he woke up and said, I'm going to go out there and change the world. And you really are. You really have.
He really has. He's done it.
Both of you, Sam and Anthony Mackie.
But what's humbling is that he still doesn't think he has.
Yeah.
Which is why he is Captain America.
Yeah.
Humble, very, very humble guy.
Directly after the speech, what I thought was quite cute was Bucky had to make a little distancing joke. I wasn't even really listening. But I think he also said something like, I heard something like about a black guy and...
Captain America.
And Captain America.
I think what you're trying to say is that for Bucky to make that
joke like that,
a joke like that, like a black joke, he must feel really comfortable. And equally, Sam must feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, of course, as a black guy, you know, I don't want a white guy to make racial jokes if I don't even trust him. So there has to be a level of trust there. And you can see they've come such a long way that they can make those jokes with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. Because that's what we want, man. We don't want racism. I want to feel that you're not, as a white person, you're not racist. So when you say black this and black that, I know it's not coming from a place of hate. That's all I want to know. Is it coming from a place of hate or not? The fact that they feel, or the fact that they are, not feel, they are in that place now. So yeah, it was good to see that, because it shows that they're growing together and their friendship is getting even closer, which is really good to see. We get Walker getting his new suit.
Oh yeah.
And he gets his name. You were right, guys. We were all right. US agent. So what does that mean going forward? Because I assume there has to be season 2. What's his role going to be? Is he more of a anti-hero? Is he not? Because he's not going to be a villain, is he?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I have to say I did slightly, just how I was the same with Zemo, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're bringing Zemo into the crew. I was thinking this was real quick to just have John slot back in. But I get it, in the face of bigger battles, you have to just do what you need to do.
Yeah. Speaking of Zemo, that mofo got his way in the end, blowing up those Flagsmashers.
Yeah.
This guy, even from the prison cell.
You know what? I didn't remember who the guy was in the car, and I said, "Who's this Alfred-looking guy?" in reference to Batman, and it actually was his Alfred. It was his butler.
Yeah, Zemo.
Zemo's just there.
The silent MVP of the show. Yeah, man, you are Zemo. Well done, guy. Then we get a very, very moving scene with Bucky and Yuri. It's Yuri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't say sorry, but he explained what happened.
Yeah.
And he told the truth. And that's what he needed to do. And it was such a powerful scene. It must take a lot for anyone to do that. To face their fear, face what they've done.
And that takes a lot because
Yeah.
clearly after that, there's no more relationship. I think I even said in the first episode commentary, I don't think Yuri would want to hang out with you if he knew what you'd done.
Yeah.
That's not fair. You have to give him that choice to know.
Yeah.
And you see Bucky respects that and he knows that now because he doesn't try and go in the restaurant and say hi to him.
That was so special.
Bucky's just amazing for that. He's just come full circle. He could definitely be another incarnation of Captain America.
For sure.
He's on his way there now.
For sure. Because you can see the arc, like it's like you said, going full circle with Bucky. And yeah, it was amazing, that scene. Importantly, he completed the book, which means time had to have elapsed, right? And he must have seen all those people. Completed the book, sent it to the doctor, said thank you. He looks like he's really healing.
He's just winning. You go, James.
Yeah.
I'm loving your character development. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, Seb.
Incredible. And he's, like I said, Sebastian's performance, amazing. Anthony, amazing.
Oh,
you know what?
Anthony.
Like I said, when Anthony was saying that speech, I felt like it was Anthony speaking
Yeah.
and not Sam. It was such a good performance, that scene.
I want to know if Anthony had any influence in writing that scene or contributing towards that scene. Because I know actors do often, when they get involved in their characters, they would say to a writer, no, I don't think my character would say this. He would say it like this.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he added 1 or 2 bits and said, you know what, let's take it to another level. Let's say this. I wouldn't be, I made it more relevant to today.
Yeah.
Who knows? For me, I mean, this show was just filled with touching scenes. We were all up in our feels. Don't act like you guys weren't crying. Even I was like, let them see. Sam going back to see Isaiah, that was perfect, because it's good to go back to see the guy who told you that they will never let a black man be Captain America. So you want to go back to that old man and stand up with your chest and say, old man, look at me now. Look at me now. Hey, I'm getting paper. Look at me now, old man. No, I'm joking. But, there was a bit of that in that, returning to see the old man, to show the old man, listen, I appreciate you and your legacy will live on, but I'm here to change the future.
Yes.
That's what I'm here to do. And look, I said I was going to do it. And that's the last 5 minutes was just beautiful, because Isaiah finally let his guard down a little bit. And he was proud. The whole scene was just beautiful. They bonded.
Isaiah said, after everything Sam was saying to him, it just came out naturally. You're special.
Whoa.
Honestly, when was the last time someone looked to you that movingly and said, you're special? Especially
who weren't your parents?
And especially a man to another man. How often does that happen as men, honestly? When's the last time one of your male elders said, I think you're special? Or a male in your life that's not romantic? That's rare, so I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. And
it was modelling beautiful, yeah.
It was amazing. And even Isaiah Bradley said to Sam, that Black Captain America, huh? He acknowledged the fact that he was wrong.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. And Like, that whole segment was just also about Isaiah reclaiming his history. There's a part of the scene where I think Sam said, you know, we built this country, we bled for it. So who's to tell me that I can't fight for it?
No one has the right to tell you, as a black man in America, and I say this as a non-black person, I can even see that. No one has a right to tell any black American they're not American or that they cannot fight for America.
Regardless of skin colour, I just wish we could live in a world where that stuff just didn't matter. You know? And they go to the museum.
That was my favourite scene of the whole episode.
It was beautiful. Like I said, that whole segment was about reclaiming history and making sure that it's not erased. You're not erased. You matter. You didn't do this in vain. And it was so touching to see how much it meant to Isaiah.
And his grandson.
And yeah.
Woo.
And his grandson.
He held his grandson's hand and he was shaking it. He was like, do you see? Oh my God, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
So powerful.
And
man.
the writing on the plaque that Sam had involvement in clearly he made sure the truth was on there. These men were taken against their will, tested against their will, erased from the history books, but no more.
His story will be told. And it was so powerful because it shows, once again, Sam is the man for everyone.
Yes.
You know, like, I'm going to tell the full story. In order for me to continue, I have to tell the full story. I've got to let them know what's happened to this shield, where it's coming from and where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So it was just so beautiful to honour Isaiah in that way, to make sure that he's never forgotten.
Yeah.
And Sam summed it up perfectly when he said, now they will never forget what you did. What a man of honour, right? And that embrace at the end was so powerful, that hug. Because I think that's the first time they've actually hugged.
Yeah, I feel like that was the first physical contact between them at all in the whole show. And Carl Lumbly, the emotion in his face as they're hugging and you look into his eyes. If you didn't look into his eyes, go back and watch that scene and look into his eyes. This man's acting is superb.
Yeah, amazing.
And of course, Shaz gets her pardon because Sam is an honourable man and promised her that he would.
Yeah.
And now she can do evil shit.
Under the eyes of the government or while working for the government. You know, leaking information and doing all the messed up stuff that she's probably going to do now. What's happened to Sharon? Flipping it.
A lot.
Sharon, it's funny, we talk about people who've changed and people who've been hardened. We ain't talking about Sharon. Sharon must have been radical-lizzled.
She's hardened now.
Radical-lizzled.
She's working
Fully.
against her own government. Well, does she even see it as her government? She's from Madripoor now, right?
I don't know, maybe that betrayal, her government betraying her probably burnt her too much and she just, I don't know, who knows. But yeah. We end on a positive note. We end on a beautiful, positive note.
Yeah, how many of you thought... I thought we were going to get some kind of nice ending, but how many people really thought we were going to get that? It was beautiful. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah, everyone just having fun, just dancing, being joyful.
Joy.
Bucky laughing and smiling, Sam laughing and smiling. Bucky trying to impress Sarah.
Yeah.
You know,
Strong arm. Bucky wears sunglasses, apparently. I don't really buy it. I think Sebastian Stan wears sunglasses and didn't take it off in the scene. But Bucky's evolving to wearing sunglasses and stuff.
Yeah, but
looking like Top Gun.
But James Barnes.
Of course, he's
don't
Top
forget.
Gun. Of course he is.
Once
He was the
Bucky gets
aviators.
back to himself.
Oh yeah, he's always happy and
Steve is the one who's straight, and Bucky's the one who's always trying to, loosen Steve up.
It's true.
So when you see the Winter Soldier, he's just different.
It's true.
He's not the Winter Soldier. When Bucky gets back to normal, you'll see, a joyful Bucky, and that's what we saw. We saw a joyful Bucky
And a joyful Sam.
Joyful Sam.
Joyful community.
It was just good. It was a good ending. We needed that ending.
Yes, we did.
We needed it.
They're not co-workers anymore.
No, and it's not Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It's just, they are partners in this, and it's good. I'm so proud of Sam Wilson, the character.
Yes.
He's amazing. He's touched me today. He did. He's touched me. His decisions, his choice of words, his leadership. He's such an honourable man. And Sam, you are Captain America. I live in Britain. So I think do I care that much? No. I'm a Jamaican, Captain Jamaica. But yeah, well done, Sam.
And that big reveal at the end when they changed the title name to Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Beautiful.
That got me. I was like, oh, yes.
He did it. It was beautiful, man. We saw the battles. We saw the trauma. We saw two guys in totally different situations, living two totally different realities, nothing alike. But in the end, they came together. They spoke. They communicated. They bonded. They overcame adversity, and we learned a lot of stories on the way.
Yes.
A lot of truths, a lot of hard-hitting truths.
Yeah,
a lot of uncomfortable stories.
Yeah.
Legacies that were, very, very horrific. But we got a man emerging out of all of that who is the embodiment of what we all believe to be a great human being.
Yes.
If you're thinking, who's a great human being, you say Sam.
Yeah, he could.
You say Sam Wilson is a great human being. He is. He's a good human being.
He is.
And that is powerful. And a black man wearing a symbol in the end, defying the odds, defying expectations, overcoming expectations.
So many black people.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it unpacks so many more themes like PTSD, how veterans are treated by their government, relationships, like I said, communication many times before.
Yeah.
It just had so many layers. The whole series was just better than I thought it was going to be. Much better. And it tackled issues that I never knew. When I knew it would tackle, but I thought it would tackle it in a much softer way.
Yeah.
Not tackle it head on the way it did. It didn't sugarcoat its words. Sam was very specific and deliberate with everything he said, and it was so powerful. I didn't think it was going to go there. I didn't. But maybe it felt that it needed to. And Marvel have created a world where they can. And it was just so beautifully told in this episode, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people are going to agree. Because you can't watch that. I don't care if you're black, white, penguin, giraffe, lion, anything. If you watch that, you're going to feel affected. You're going to feel something.
I think when we reacted to the trailer, I speculated how much are they going to delve into the issue of race and the experience of race in America. And even at that time, I don't even think a lot of the articles that were gearing up for it, people were touching upon it, but I don't think anybody really, maybe except for the cast and crew, knew. They tackled the issues better than we do in society. They had the conversations in this fantastical world better than we can even have them as humans in the real world, which is good in a way. Shouldn't our media reflect something that we can aspire to?
Yeah, I agree with you when you said it's better than WandaVision, because for me it is better than WandaVision, and I love WandaVision.
I did too, but this is better.
But this provoked more conversation, deeper conversation. With WandaVision, it was more theories about what's happening, because we didn't know anything. Who's this character and who's that character? What does this mean? Whereas this is actually provoking real conversation at home about real issues. It is authentic. Amazing, guys. We've enjoyed it. We have enjoyed it. You can tell we've enjoyed it. It's been good. It's been good to discuss these themes and ideas with you, to hear your ideas and to hear your thoughts. It's been really, really enjoyable. Long may it continue, because there are a lot more shows that Marvel and the MCU have planned. So it's going to be a good year, guys. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody's comments after this episode. I think a couple of people dropped some comments prior to this episode to say this episode's going to be fire, and it did not disappoint. Yeah.
As usual, there's going to be loads of things that we've missed. But, if we have, let us know. We're going to interact with you guys.
Yeah.
We got a few questions, though, because it ended in a way that at least seems as if there's going to be a season 2. Yeah. So, what's Sharon up to now? What is her end goal here? How have you guys felt about the way Marvel have tackled some of these issues? about PTSD, about race, about veterans and the way they've been handled. How have you felt about that? Are you happy? Should they have? Shouldn't they have? I mean, it's a movie, right? It's a show, so they can do whatever they want. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I have a question around watching the show itself. Was there anything in the show that you found uncomfortable or triggering? I'm curious why. Because you would have seen us reacting. You would have seen when we found something triggering. So I'm just curious. What did you guys think?
Yeah. And what did you guys think of Sam's speech? We thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the speech?
What did you guys think of Sam's gift to Isaiah at the end? Do you guys think this is the beginning of Patriot in his grandson?
Maybe that's what he needed, because up until then he wasn't really interested in anything like that. He was a bit disrespectful, as we saw. But in the last scene, or in the last scenes, we saw a nicer side to him.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. Once again, the last episode, it was great. It was great. I hope you guys enjoyed our reaction, our review, our breakdown, discussion. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been amazing.
Thank you for inspiring and for sharing your wisdom and ideas, because it's definitely given us more food for thought and helped us to enjoy the show on a deeper level as well. So thank you.
Always preparing us for the episode ahead, giving us a bit more knowledge, answering our questions, engaging in very interesting conversation, which is what this channel is about. Thanks, man. It's been wicked. What an episode. What a show. Out of 10, I'm giving that. I still didn't like the fact it started right into it, sort of. I don't know why, guys. I didn't like that. But out of 10, I would give that episode a 9.
Yeah, I was going to say the whole series overall, I'd give a 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. Would I give it a 9? An 8.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't give, you don't get 9s.
8. It was a really, really amazing series. 9 is really high. The episode was probably a 9, but overall, I don't think I could give it a 9.
I give it a 9 because of how it builds all the episodes. A bit like, I felt like the way The Wire did, bit by bit, each series added onto it and became, for me, it just, woo.
Either way, whether it's a 8 or a 9, as you can see, both very high marks.
Yes.
We loved it. Amazing show. Join us again with more reactions. We're going to have more videos, of course, more MCU projects, but not just MCU projects. We're going to be reacting to many other things. Thank you guys again. Smash the like button, turn on your notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe for more content like this.